So welcome to the class, YouTube class from Vanik. We have discussed regarding various institutions like National Human Rights Commission, National Central Information Commission, and also the Central Information Commission in this regard, and we have also discussed the State Information Commission, Odisha State Information Commission. I have told you that regarding all these things, we shall today discuss the rest part of the institutions. That is Central Vigilance Commission. We shall discuss Central Vigilance Commission. Vigilance Commission. Central Vigilance Commission is a major agency in combating corruption in India in civil service, major agency, organization to combat corruption in public life, major agency to combat corruption in public life. It was recommended by K. Santhanam committee on prevention of corruption, and prevention of corruption. And prevention of corruption (1962-64). K. Santhanam was a major committee on corruption, and it was established in 1964. It was established in 1964. It has a vigilant eye upon the activities of the civil services servants. It became a statutory body. In 2003 under Civil Citizen Central Vigilance Commission Act 2003, and came into effect in 2004. So it is now a statutory body. Okay. Central Vigilance Commission also receives complaint from the whistleblowers. That is, after 2004, it has been receiving complaints and allegations of corruption from whistleblowers under public interest disclosure and protection of infamous resolution (PDPA). So you can write that since 2004, CBC has been receiving complaints and allegations from public interest disclosure public interest disclosure and protection of informers, protection of informers, resolution, resolution, PIDPI, resolution. Since 2004, which is popularly known as whistleblowers resolutions, which is popularly known as whistleblowers. Whistleblowers, a term applied to whistleblowers, a term applied to a person who exposes corrupt activities, who gives information regarding corrupt activities by the civil servants. Okay, so this is the major activity since 2004. And if you look at the composition of the commission, we can write here composition, that is mentioned under the Act. It is consists of Chief Vigilance Commissioner, Chief Vigilance Commissioner, and two other Vigilance Commissioner. The Chief Vigilance Commissioner and other commissioners are appointment by President on the recommendations of a committee, high-level committee, comprising PM as chairperson, and the Union Home Minister as a member, and the Leader of Opposition as its members. So the Chief Vigilance Commissioner and other Vigilance Commissioners also, they are appointed by by the President on the recommendation of this high-level committee, which is chaired by the PM, and the Union Home Minister and Leader of Opposition also serve as the members of the Commission. Okay, this is the appointment by the President. Term of the CBC is 5 years or 65 years, whichever is earlier. Not eligible for further appointment. They are independent office, they are not eligible for further employment under the central. Not eligible for further employment under central and state government. Under central, state and local government and state governments. So they enjoy independence, state government. They can be by president and the president in the same manner in the same manner as the chairperson and members of UPSC are removed. That is the main logic behind that. So CBC is the apex body in the matter of corruption in the country. Functions of the body. It inquires or caution into an offense or acts under Prevention of Corruption Act, 1988. It exercises superintendence over the functioning of the Delhi Special Police Establishment. That we call CBI. Insofar as it relates to the investigation of offences under Prevention of Corruption Act, It also reviews the progress of such investigation it exercises control, it exercises superintendence, over the vigilance administration in the country. In the ministries. They specify information relating to suspicious transactions under prevention of money laundering, So you must have been aware about these functions. You should remember that these are the functions of CBSE. It is the apex vigilance body. It deals with offences committed under Prevention of Corruption Act 1988. Vigilance is a very sensitive matter. Vigilance, if you look at the meaning of vigilance, what is the meaning of vigilance? The action or state of keeping careful watch for possible danger or difficulties. So keeping vigilance over the ministry and also to ensure or to avoid any corrupt practices is not a simple job to be carried on. So CBC plays a very vital role in ensuring a corruption-free India, but how far it has acted is a question to be asked. So the procedure is there, Central Vigilance Commission. So it is established in 64, I told you, and it has the status of an autonomous body free of control from any executive authority charged with monitoring all vigilance activities, and located in New Delhi, and there are also term I have told you, and the first CBC first. The Nittu Srinivasan Rao, N.S. Rao. N.S. Rao was the first chairperson, first chairperson of the first Chief Vigilance Commissioner. It gives annual report to the President also. And the first was, I told you, N.S. Rao, and now it is Praveen Kumar Srivastav is the is the present Chief Vigilance Commissioner of India. There are certain lacuna. There are certain lacuna, as I told you, that the CBC is only an advisory body. Its recommendation may or may not be accepted by the departments of Government of India. CBC does not have adequate resources compared with the number of complaints that it receives. It has a very small number of staff, so due to lack of human resources especially, it has not been able to stand up to the expectations. CBC cannot direct CBI to initiate inquiries against any officer of the level of Joint Secretary and above on its own. Such a permission has to be obtained from the department concerned. However, this provision was declared unconstitutional in 2014 by the Supreme Court. The court had stated that the post of a person could not keep him above law. Further stating the Section 6 of Delhi Police Special Police is violative of Fundamental Right 14. CBC does not have the power to register criminal case. It only deals with vigilance or disciplinary cases. It has supervisory power over CBI. However, CBI does not have the power to call for any file from CBI or to direct CBI to investigate in any particular manner. CBI is under administrative control of Department of Personnel and Training, which means the power to appoint, transfer and suspend CBI officers lies with the Department of Personnel and Training. Appointment of CBC are indirectly under control of Union Government. Though the leader of opposition is a member of the committee in Lok Sabha to select CBC as the candidate, they are to be put up before any decided by the Union Government. Okay, so these are the major issues, and it has not been doing independently, and the rate of corruption, no such vigorous effort has been made in this regard. So it needs to be strengthened, it needs to be endowed with more power and independence in order to function as a real body of that. The Central Vigilance Commission or Vigilance Awareness Week is being celebrated every year, coincides with the birthday of Sardar Patel. So it's on his 75th birth anniversary, Indian independence from British Raj, the VW is being celebrated as promoting. So there has been many Vigilance Awareness Week. In 2022, the theme of the Vigilance Awareness Week was Corruption-Free India for a Developed Nation. So VAW, Vigilance Awareness Week, is also celebrated in this regard. Okay. So likewise, there are also State Vigilance Commission. It differs from state to the composition. It is established under the same Act, and it is under the direct control of the Central Vigilance Commission. Okay. Now we shall come to Lokpal of India. Lokpal of India. Lokpal is the ombudsman system, the Indian version of ombudsman. The term ombudsman is there. Ombudsman system. The ombudsman is was first created in Sweden in 1809. Ombud is a Swedish term and refers to person who acts as a representative spokesman or another person. So, Lokpal is the Indian version of Ombudsman as originated in Sweden in 1809, then in Nordic countries like Finland in 1919, Denmark in 1955, Norway in 1962. New Zealand is the first Commonwealth country to have a ombudsman system. It is the first Commonwealth country in the world, and it is the ombudsman is known as Parliamentary Commissioner for Investigation in New Zealand. Then UK followed the line, followed the toes, and it had its Lokpal in 1967. There are different types of ombudsman system or administrative court system. For example, administrative court system in France, in Egypt, Greece, Germany, France, Italy, some of the Nordic countries, Portugal, Taiwan. The procurator system is found in Russia by Peter the Great in 1722. It is found in Japan, Indonesia, China, Poland and Hungary. So different types of administrative structure are there to prevent corruption. In India, the existing legal and institutional framework to check corruption and redress citizens' grievances in India are as can be summarized. There are Public Servants Act 1850, Indian Penal Code 1860, Delhi Police Establishment Act 1946, Prevention of Corruption Act 1988, Commission of Inquiry Act 1952, All India Services Rules 1968, Central Civil Services Conduct Rules 1964, Railway Services Rules 1966, Vigilance Organization CBI, CBC and SBC, Lokpal, Lokayukta in states, National Consumer Dispute Redressal Commission and National Commission for SC, National Commission for ST and others. So there have been many legal and institutional framework to check corruption in India. Apart from the above, there is Supreme Court, High Court, parliamentary committees, etc. Okay. So Lokpal is, you can write Lokpal is the Indian version of ombudsman system. ARC, Administrative Reform Commission, 1960 to 1970, the first Administrative Reform Commission. Lokayukta. It recommended for Lokayukta. But Lokpal was initiated in 1968. There have been many efforts made in this regard. There have been many efforts made in this regard to establish Lokpal. Corruption is a very burning issue in India. So, with view to eradicating and checking corruption, the government of India has been taking initiatives towards establishment of a body. The Lokpal So the effort or the step to have the initiative to have a Lokpal was started during the regime of the Indira Gandhi government. Efforts were made for 11 times before it became a reality. And due to the effort of, as you know, Anna Hazare and others, Lokpal Bill could become a reality with some modifications. At last, Lokpal Act was enacted. Lokpal Act 2013 enacted by the Parliament. January 2014. Okay. Jurisdiction of Lokpal. PM, ministers, in center, MPs, and group A, B, C, D, officials. Tell how to define Lokpal. Lokpal is the highest anti-corruption authority in India. So it deals with all the matters composition, chairperson. Lokpal consists of a chairperson and 8 other members. Okay. Then qualifications. Out of uh, out of 8 members, 4 members are judicial members. Means who have been who are or have been judge of Supreme Court or judge of Supreme Court or Chief Justice of High Court. Okay, and 4 members are non-judicial, out of which one must be a woman and an SC, an ST, and a person belonging to a minority community will be preferred, 50% of the members. So these are the composition of the, out of which okay, then appointment. Appointment. On the recommendation of Speaker of Lok Sabha. Chief Justice of India. Or a sitting judge of Supreme Court an eminent jurist to be okay. So these are the composition of the high level committee that recommends the names of persons to be appointed as Lokpal and its members. Although there are no qualification mentioned for non-judicial members, however, it is provided that they must be people of impeccable integrity, flawless, and outstanding ability of having special knowledge and expertise of not less than 25 years in matters related to anti-corruption policy, public administration, vigilance, finance, including insurance and banking, law and management. So that is also a type of qualifications. Okay. So Lokpal will have all the commanding authority over anti-corruption activities. So that is there. It covers all categories of public servants, all entities, NGOs receiving donation from foreign resources in the context of Foreign Contribution Regulation Act in excess of rupees 10 lakh per year are under the jurisdiction of Lokpal. Centre will send Lokpal bill to states as a model bill. States have to set up Lokayukta through a state law within 365 days. Lokpal will have the power of superintendence and direction over any central investigation agency, including CBI, for cases referred to them by the Ombudsman. Okay. So that is where the power of superintendence and direction over all the investigating agencies in India. The High Power Committee chaired by the PM will recommend the selection of CBI Director. The collegium will comprise PM, Leader of Opposition, Chief Justice of India. PM has been brought under the purview of Lokpal and also Central Minister senior officials. Directorate of Prosecution will be under overall control of CBI Director. At present, it comes under the Law Ministry. Appointment of Director of Prosecution to be based on recommendation of Central Vigilance Commission. Okay, so these are the major things. Remember, it is the highest anti-corruption authority in India. It has to check corruption against Prime Minister, ministers and others. However, Prime Minister is avoided, does not come under the purview of Lokpal in certain matters related to security, international affairs. So the Lokpal has limited jurisdiction over the Prime Minister of India. But the efficacy of Lokayukta Lokpal is still not clear. Whether it has been doing any pioneering job or anything related to fight out corruption is not clearly perceived. The time will definitely say whether Lokpal is a successful initiative or not. Okay. So these are the everything about Lokpal, and under the same act, Lokayukta are established in Odisha, in other states also. Odisha was the first to enact Lokayukta, and it is constituted under the same act. And Lokayukta they are appointed by the governor, and on the recommendation of a high-level committee consisting of Chief Justice of State High Court and the Leader of Opposition in the State Legislative Assembly. So qualifications of members of Lokayukta in states differ from one another. In Uttar Pradesh, the Lokpal, hello. क्लास मतलब करूँ फोन चार्टा 15 मिनट क्लास करुचे So this is all about Lokayukta are there. The first Lokpal of India, Justice Pinaki Chandra Ghosh. Is he the current Lok Sabha? And the term of Lok Sabha, term of Lokpal hochi 5 years or 70 years. Whichever is earlier. So these are the major aspects of Lokpal, and in the same light Lokayukta are established also. So Lokayukta at the state level. We shall take a special focus on Odisha Lokayukta Act, and we shall review on that at the time. But remember, the composition and the qualification of Lokayukta differ from state to state so far as the Act is concerned. is left. And Lokayukta has a term of 5 years or 65 years. There is no uniformity regarding the jurisdiction of Lokayukta. In certain states, Lokayukta, Chief Minister of the state, he comes under the fold of Lokayukta, like Himachal Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat. And in other states, the Chief Minister is not under the fold of Lokayukta, like the Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Bihar and Odisha. So there will be changes. So that is the things, but it is not clear how far these anti-corruption authorities have performed and how far they have contributed to a corruption-free India. So that is time will speak about them. And the speaker, the first Lokpal was appointed in 2019 itself. So after the passage of the act in 2013, after 6 long years, the first Lokayukta was appointed. So there is something lies in delaying the provisions, and not, as it seems the government is not keen to have any towards the things. Next is your National Green Tribunal. We shall speak about briefly about them. National NDRM, National Disaster Management, National Investigation Agency. National Investigation Agency is an apex body in case of matters related to terrorism and investigating. National Investigation Agency. That is short called NIA. NIA was established in 2019 under NIA Act. (2008). It is headquartered in New Delhi. And it has branches at Hyderabad, Guwahati, and your Mumbai, Lucknow, Kochi, Kolkata, okay. This is most important, and the NIA is headed by Director General appointed by the central government. NIA functions under the Ministry of Home Affairs. NIA has objectives. It deals with prosecute offences in respect of acts specified under the NIA Act, provide assistance to and seek assistance from other intelligence investigation agencies of the central government and state government, to take other such measures which may be necessary for speedy and effective implementation of the provisions of the NIA. So NIA is an added branch, added arm to facilitate the investigation work. It is assigned to it, and it has a high level body, it is a high level institutions having the branches at several places in India. So that is National Investigation Agency, and it is established in the post aftermath of Mumbai attack in 2008. So it deals with terrorism, events related to terrorism, and the close affinity of government servants with terrorist organizations and other anti-social organizations. Then we have National Disaster Management Authority. National Disaster Management Authority was established in 2005 under the National Disaster Management Authority Act 2005. It is a high-level body, deals with disasters in the country, both natural and man-made disasters. Okay, and it is chaired by the Prime Minister of India. National Disaster NDMA, National Disaster Management Authority, and it is established under National Disaster Management Authority Act. It is a high-level body in the matters of disaster. It is chaired by the Prime Minister of India, ex-officio chairperson, and the vice chairperson enjoys the status of a Union Cabinet Minister. There are about not exceeding 9 members, and all the members are nominated by the Prime Minister. But he is the ex-officio chairperson of the NDMA. NDMA was established to build a safer and disaster-resilient India by holistic, proactive, technology-driven, sustainable development strategy that involves all stakeholders and foster a culture of prevention and preparedness and mitigation. NDMA functions that it promotes a culture of prevention, preparedness and resilience at all levels through knowledge and motivation and education. It encourages mitigation measures based on technology, tradition, wisdom and environment sustainability. Maintain disaster management into developmental processes. Enabling regulatory environment and compliance regime. It develops contemporary forecasting and early warning system. It ensures sufficient response and relief with a caring approach. It undertakes reconstruction of an opportunity to build disaster resilient influence and habitat for ensuring safer living. To promote a productive and protective partnership with media regarding disaster management. Likewise, there is also State Disaster Management Authority, which is chaired by the Chief Minister itself. It varies, the composition varies from state to state, but overall they work in tandem to facilitate the process, implementation process during the disasters and help people in the trying times after disaster. So we have discussed National Disaster Management Authority. Remember, it is the high-level body in the matter of disaster management. Okay, so there is also a things of state. Then State Disaster Management Authority is there also. Under the same act it is established. And there are 8 members maximum. And the Chief Minister is the ex-officio chairperson. And all these under State Disaster Management, also there are DDMA, District Disaster Management Authority. Okay, so this way the government, the National Disaster Management, State Disaster Management Authority are exploring various modalities to prevent corruption and to be prepared for that. There is also National Commission for National Green Tribunal, we shall focus. National Green Tribunal is an apex body in the matter of environmental pollution or environmental pollution caused by industrial projects and others. NGT was not there. India is the third country to have an NGT after Pune. The third country in the country, National Green Tribunal. It is specially established. It is specially established to needs of India is the third country to have an NGT after Australia and New Zealand probably, and it was established under NGT established in New Delhi headquarters. Pune, Bhopal, Central, Chennai, Kolkata, Eastern Zone, Kolkata, and the chairperson is always a retired judge of Supreme Court. The objective of central government was to provide a specialized forum for effective and speedy disposal of cases pertaining to environmental protection, conservation of forest, and for seeking compensation for damages caused to people and property due to violation of environmental laws and conditions specified while granting permissions. So it is an apex body which works towards it is an apex body NGT draws inspiration from Article 21, which tells us about right to a healthy environment, also implied right under Article 21. It is based upon the United Nations Conference on Environment and Development in June 1922. India, this lies reason behind the setting of the tribunal. After India's move with carbon credits, such a tribunal may play a vital role in ensuring control and emissions. There are certain offices also I have told you, and it is the apex body for clearance of any project related to which has any relation to environment, and if it is pertains to it has prospect of environmental damage, then it will be reviewed by the NGT, and the approval of NGT is a must. So it is a high level body and apex body with the matters of clearance of projects and sustenance of environment. So it is a high powered body in this regard, and the first chairperson of NGT was Lokeshwar Singh Pantha. And Adarsh Kumar Goel is the incumbent chairperson of NGT. Each bench of NGT will comprise at least one judicial member and one expert member. Expert members should have a professional qualification and a minimum 15-year experience in the field of environment, forest conservation related subjects. So we can say NGT is acting as a protector of environment. It has certain legal sanctions behind it, and it wants to fruitfully implement the things. Okay. So these are the major matters of NGT, and there is also a National Water Resources Council which was established in 1983. The Prime Minister is the chairperson of Water Resources Council, and the Vice Chairperson, Minister of Water Resources is the Vice Chairperson, and Minister of State for Water Resources concerned Union Ministry or Minister of State, Chief Ministers of all states, Lieutenant Governors of Administrators of Union Territories are the members. Secretary, Ministry of Water Resources is the Secretary of the Council. So National Water Resources Council is an apex body with regards to mitigate water crisis and to ensure availability of water across the country. Okay. These are the bodies. So we have left with only Niti Aayog. It's an extensive discussion on Niti Aayog, and also CBI, Central Bureau of Investigation, CBI, Central Bureau of Investigation, and other bodies. You shall see certain bodies also, like the other councils, other bodies were there. We shall discuss that. Okay, and we'll have apex questionnaire on the matters. We'll have long questions on these bodies. So these are the things we are left with other also. And remember, there are a lot of things are added also. There is like the regulatory bodies. So I have some brief idea about them also. MCI, IRDA, Medical Council of India, Insurance Development Authority. There are various regulatory authorities they are established in India. So we have to have a brief idea about their composition, about the year of establishment, their functions, objectives. So multiple number of bodies are there. So kindly remember the brief idea about them, and brief things about them, what are they, why are they for, and what are their objectives, the basic things. Okay, that will help you to attend some questions on that, because in the new syllabus you have specific instructions to prepare for these bodies. Years in the prepared syllabus, in the last syllabus there was constitutional and extra constitutional bodies, but now it is regulatory bodies and other bodies also. So there are several bodies together we will have to discuss. Okay guys, so these are the things, we will discuss more about it in the next class. We will have in the next class we have CBA and others. So next class. Okay, so do prepare, and here are the bodies, those which comprises of several aspects. Okay, so this is national, everybody. So this is national green tribunals and other bodies. So next class we shall be discussing with these body parts. Okay. So thank you very much for watching us. I'll be back with the rest part of this chapter in due time. Thank you very much.